Hey folks, BlackCross here. Today's discussion video we're going to do something a little bit different. And by different, I mean something that I think some of you guys might either enjoy or something you guys might end up hating me for. But I felt like I wanted to talk about something like this for a while now. And it's more or less just something I thought to myself. I was like, you know what, there's a lot of hype going on in 2018. A lot of hype. So I figure we take a step back and take a look at all of the games, and by all, I mean all the major ones. Both some of my interesting ones and some of the ones that everybody else is interested in. You know, for example, some of the bigger name titles and some of the ones that people have talked about a lot. You know, since this last E3 in 2017, there has been a lot of hype building up for 2018. And there still is a lot more games to be announced later on, should we ever get news of it. But I figure I'd do a video talking about all of these titles and all of these games within the recent year for 2018. And these are my opinions only. You're free to make your own opinions, and if you want to comment on any of my false accusations that people might call me as, you're more than welcome to them. But these are the list of games that I want to go ahead and talk about, and these are ranging from official release to still to be announced to we don't even know if they're going to be a 2018 release. So, get ready for the discussion video of games released in 2018, or games of 2018. So, let's see. The first game that I'm going to go ahead and talk about right now, and I know a lot of people would probably go ahead and mention this since I played the first one, is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, which is a sequel to Cyber Sleuth. Now, I have played Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and I loved how that game looked. I loved how it turned out and everything like that. It was actually entertaining and it was fun. So, to know that it's coming out with a sequel gets me a little bit happy, but at the same time, I'm going to hold back from purchasing it right away. And I have a couple reasons why. Number one is that I didn't purchase Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth when it first came out. I think I got it like a year after it got released. And I didn't pick it up because, well, at the time, my fanism for Digimon kind of died out for a while. And a friend of mine that I knew was telling me that this game was really awesome and that I should try to pick it up and play it. So I did, and I ended up enjoying it. I was like, this is actually really good. I'm surprised. But the good thing is that I'm glad that I gotten it whenever it was discounted price. And by discounted price, I think I got it like $25. I don't remember how much it was back when I purchased it. But it was worth it. I didn't think it was worth a full $60, but it was definitely worth me picking up. And the DLC that came with afterwards were absolutely free. So in other words, these were updates to the main game. This was actually a pretty cool feature. And I was like, out of all the DLCs, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth has DLC and it's absolutely free. It's like, for once, something that was meant to be. You know, because see, when people talk about DLCs, they mean it as purchasable updates. I don't like that ideal assumption. If it is an update or an add-on put to the main game, then do what it was. Add it on to the main game. Don't make us pay for it, you know? And sometimes they overprice them too. It seems like as though as if they scalp them, you know? It's like, oh, this is a heavily hyped game. This is a heavily popular title now. Let's milk as much as we can and sell off this DLC to the highest bidder we can. And they do. Sometimes the DLC do match the price, and by match, I mean to a slight effort. But sometimes they tend to overprice it at times. Rather the DLC is too short, or rather it's not matched from like the main game perspective and everything like that, or even for that matter, it wasn't even worth purchasing, you know? It's one of those things where it's like, should I or should I not? In Digimon Stories case, the DLC were absolutely free because all you're doing is fighting optional bosses. And it was actually fun. These were actually unique bosses to fight, and I absolutely enjoyed the moment. So, with that in mind, I'm excited for what Hacker's Memory present, but at the same time, I'm not going to purchase it right away. I might play it next year, you never know, I might pick it up, but until then, I don't see it being worth the full $60, $70 value. At least in my opinion. Okay, so the next title, and keep in mind, these are titles that either I would be interested, or titles that people would lash out at me and say, oh, you forgot this, you forgot this, you forgot this, type thing. So, before you even go any details, yes, I know Kirby Battle Royale is supposed to come out, but I'm not a big Nintendo fan. And unless there was a Nintendo title that I'm familiar with that got me hooked, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Not right off the bat, anyway. Again, Breath of the Wild definitely grabbed my interest, and Mario Odyssey definitely does grab my interest as well. But as a non-Nintendo fan guy, it doesn't pique my interest right away compared to everything else that does, or other interests that other people have as well. So yes, I know about the Kirby Battle Royale, but it hasn't piqued my interest yet. And as far as I know, I think Delmar said that it hasn't piqued his interest yet, but we'll go into that detail after we get through everything else. So, the next game that people are telling me about is Monster Hunter World. I've already had a couple of people ask me if I was thinking about getting Monster Hunter World. Now, on the one hand, I have never talked about Monster Hunter before at all. I've talked about being interested in it, but I've never said that I played it. So to have people say the phrase, are you going to pick up Monster Hunter World? The answer is no. Every single time I turn around and look at Monster Hunter, I'm always looking at it and think to myself, I'll pick it up eventually, and I never do. At the same time, I'm thinking to myself, is there even anything interesting about Monster Hunter that I would be interested in? Other than the fact that you can kill monsters and use parts that they drop and everything like that, components to create weapons and stuff, or create armor and everything like that. I like the feature, but it doesn't interest me. And when I think Monster Hunter, I think you're actually fighting monsters, not dinosaurs. That's all I'm seeing is dinosaurs. I'd be fine if there was like giant beast-type creatures, or hell, even giant fish creatures, or bird-like creatures. It's all dinosaurs. It's all dinosaurs. It's all custom creation dinosaurs. I'm gonna get a lot of people hating me on that one, but they're all dinosaurs! I'm not wrong on that one. So, until Monster Hunter piques my interest, which it has not piqued my interest at all, I'm not picking it up. Sorry. Has not interested me, and I have no interest in it. But the next one, which everyone knew I was going to get this one, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. Everyone knows I'm going to be playing this one. Everybody knows. I am so excited to play this one because the last time I played Dissidia was on the PSP, which that's the only thing it's ever been released on. And to see it finally be released on console, I was like, yes, finally. A console version of a Final Fantasy fighting game. Just, I got so excited about it and everything like that, so I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And I even quote, I'm going to quote what I say, and some people may hate me for saying it, but I'm going to quote this anyway. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT is going to be my Overwatch. Like, I'm going to be hardcore on this game. Second I pick it up, I'm going to be more than likely playing it about 50 times more than some of my other games and some of my other projects that I'm working on right now. So, yeah, Dissidia is going to be, it's going to be literally absorbing me. I do hope, though, because technically this is a multiplayer game. A multiplayer fighting game. I hope they don't do anything which thankfully Square Enix hasn't done anything like that. But since towards the end of 2017, we've had a record of microtransactions. A record. And they're terrible, shitty microtransactions. Some of the worst, even. I say Dissidia won't do that, but you never know. You never know who is going to be the next one on the list to do it. I'm hoping that Dissidia Final Fantasy NT is good on its own, and is still fun and enjoyable through the multiplayer campaign and everything like that. I'm hoping it's all good. But we'll find out once it comes out. The next one that comes out this coming up year that we know of right now is Shadow of the Colossus for PS4. I'm very excited for Shadow of the Colossus. It's literally one of my favorite games of all times, and to see it being remade for the PS4, it gets me excited. It makes me wonder how well it does, and the fact that it's being updated, you know? It's like the PS2 was graphically underenhanced, but gameplay was very advanced, if you think about it. And artistically, it was advanced too. And then it got booted up to the PlayStation 3 in polished 3D graphics and everything. But the gameplay and everything like that hasn't really changed any at all. If nothing else, the polygon shapes was all polished up to work for the PlayStation 3 HD. Now we're getting a true remake for Shadow of Colossus. Now, even though this is going to be rebuilt from the ground up, there is potential for it. And I'll give you my reasons. If you remember, earlier 2017, midsummer, we had Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is a game that was previously released for the PlayStation 1 and got remade for the PlayStation 4, rebuilt from the ground up. What happened afterwards, they released a DLC of the deleted level that was removed from the original Crash Bandicoot game. So the fact that they added that on there as DLC, it makes me wonder if the Shadow of Colossus has that same chance. Because Shadow of Colossus has a lot of removed content from its original game. And I think, if I counted it right, there was a total of 8 other Colossus that could have had potential being left in the game, but were removed. Either because it posed to be too difficult to beat for players, or it just didn't match the theme for it, or they couldn't even get it graphically to work in the game. But now that we're on the PS4, they might be persuaded to do this. In fact, there was rumor being said that they were considering adding Colossus to the main game. So I don't know if they added them onto the main game as like after you beat the game, when you go through the second playthrough, they get unlocked afterwards, or if it's a DLC type thing where they'll add them later on once the game comes out. We don't know. They haven't revealed any detail of that. They just said, experience Shadow of Colossus again in full 4K HD. Don't care much for the 4K part, but I am happy to replay Shadow of Colossus again. I'm very excited for that one. The next one that shows up on my list, there's actually a couple of them, but they're all like smaller titles. Like, for example, The 7 Deadly Sins, Knights of Barneria. If you don't know what that is, The 7 Deadly Sins is a Netflix anime. Brandon told me about it, and then I ended up watching the first season, and I absolutely loved it. That was actually really good. Hadn't got back to watching season 2 yet, but I might end up doing that later on. I'm not quite sure. Of course, there's also Dynasty Warriors 9. I found out that I more or less like the third-party type Dynasty Warrior games, you know, where they have different franchises being put into Dynasty Warriors. You know, like Gundam Dynasty Warriors, you got The Legend of Zelda. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Fire Emblems became a Dynasty Warriors-like game. Again, I'm hoping Kingdom Hearts will get that same treatment, but we'll find out in due time. Delmar's won the Mario, which I'm trying to think to myself, how can you do Mario in Dynasty Warriors? I mean, they did XCOM with Mario, and I didn't think that was possible, but they did. Delmar says it's really good. I don't doubt him on that. But with Rabbids, and it's like, as crazy of an ideal as that is, the fact that they were able to pull this off, that's pretty mind-blowing, actually. Nintendo did really good 2017 for the Nintendo Switch. But anyway, Dynasty Warriors 9 is supposed to be releasing in February 13th. It has not really piqued my interest at this current moment in time. So, unfortunately, that's kind of like out of reach for me right now. Secret of Mana, which is being put for PC, PS4, and PS Vita. I'm actually thinking about getting Secret of Mana. And for two reasons. Number one, it is a remake of the original Secret of Mana that was released for the SNES, I believe it was. I hope I'm right on that one. But it is a remake. And it looks really good. It does. It looks really, really good. The fact that you can still do co-op with it and everything like that, like couch co-op and everything, that makes me happy. So it's like, I wonder if I should get it, because technically you can get it physically, but it's a GameStop exclusive only. So, and only through PS4, as far as I know. Maybe they might expand it, I'm not quite sure, but it is a limited quantity. But with that being said, Secret of Mana, that has my interest right now. I'm happy to know that Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 are being released for the Nintendo Switch, so that's something to hear. But to know that they're going to release the Bayonetta 3, I don't know if it's a 2018 release or not, but we'll go into that once we actually get further into the list, of course. Now, this is one of those games. This is one of the games that people are talking about, but at the same time, it doesn't have my interest. But I want to talk about it because I'm like, really, really? Because I mean, it's been canceled twice, but apparently it keeps coming back. You know, and fans are still outraged by this. Fans are trying to get this removed and everything like that. But Konami isn't going to do it. Konami is going to keep on trying to tug everyone's ropes to get them to purchase it. It's like, oh gosh. Metal Gear Survive. The second I saw what that was, I was like, oh my gosh. They're literally going to die. If this doesn't kill them, whatever comes up next will. It just, Konami has literally drained itself at this point. It just, they're going with the plan of releasing Metal Gear Solid. I don't see it working. I don't see it succeeding. I see this as being potentially one of the most disappointing games of 2018. More than likely. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, in March, and this was shocked me the most, because I was actually surprised to see this. And especially, well, then again, it is Microsoft Windows, but still, I was very surprised that it would be available. Devil May Cry HD Collection for the PS4 and Xbox One. I was shocked to hear that. It's like, as soon as I was looking through the list, I saw that and I was like, wait. Devil May Cry HD Collection for PS4 and Xbox One? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Because they've already released, like, several HD collections now. Like, for example, the, excuse me, Jak and Daxter collection was released for the PS4 recently. So I have no doubt in my mind there will be more down the list. But to see Devil May Cry HD collection, this is actually interesting. Because, I mean, I think it was earlier this year that we had just recently gotten Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition for PS4. So I was like, huh. So they're releasing the HD collection. Not to say that that means anything, but because I mean, I sincerely doubt it does mean anything. You know, I mean, at this point, are we gonna get another Devil May Cry game? At this point, I sincerely doubt it. If we do see another Devil May Cry game, I'm hoping it's the original Devil May Cry. It's not that DMC bullshit. I can't even say DMC because everyone will think I meant the DMC Devil May Cry. No, I mean Devil May Cry. But yeah, that's a whole nother apples to open later. Later on, there's also a game called Attack on Titan 2. I played the first one, and I liked that one. So, am I going to get the second one, or am I talking about it? Am I thinking about it? Lately, I've been thinking about it, and it's like, I hadn't really watched Season 2 of Attack on Titan. And I think it's because I kind of got tired of Attack on Titan, because it's like, you know what? They're taking forever with Season 2. Am I going to see it? I sincerely doubt it. But apparently it's out now, available to where you can watch it and everything. But I just hadn't had the motivation to watch a new anime for a while. And this isn't even a new anime. It's a new season of a previous anime. And I just haven't got the motivation to watch it right now. So I'm going to hold off on Attack on Titan 2 at a later date. Maybe I might pick it up. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But right now I'm pushing that aside. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. I hope I pronounced that right. If I mispronounced that, someone can quote me later. But I haven't played the first one, which is the White Witch, I believe it was. White Witch? I'm not quite sure, but I hadn't played the first one. And I know, obviously, from the way it looks, they have nothing in terms of story connection. They have nothing to do with each other. But I just love how it looks. I do. I love how it looks. Kind of reminds me of one of those Studio Ghibli movies, you know? And I think that's what they were going for. But I might pick this up eventually, but not right off the back. For those of you that are asking, that is said to be released March 23rd, I believe is what it's supposed to say. There's another one that people are going to be asking me about, and I'm going to tell you right now, and it's going to kill you guys. It's going to hurt me, because people are going to hate me for it. Far Cry 5. Have no interest in it whatsoever. I never got interested in the Far Cry series, and Far Cry 5 is no exception. There's nothing really major going on in April or May as of right now, but that's to be announced later on. So now we're going to go into the list of unscheduled release. So, if you're ready, first one on the list, and these are alphabetically, mind you. They're not based on like when they were announced or anything like that. This is alphabetically, and these are games either I had interest in, or games that people are going to talk about later on and stuff like that. So, first off, we have Biomutant. I am still hyped for that game. That is so good to look at and everything like that. I can't wait to play it. It looks like it's going to be fun. But unfortunately, there hasn't been any updates, you know? I mean, I saw this after E3, you know? I thought to myself, well, let's take a look if there was any other game that was released after E3 and whatever. And it turned out this game popped up and it looked interesting to me. So I was like, it looks interesting. It's got like a fur little creature with a giant blade that's fighting and everything like that. Let's take a look. And immediately I fell in love with the ideal assumption. I was like, oh my gosh, this looks awesome. I have to play this. When does it come out? And it said 2018. Just 2018. Shit. So we're going to be waiting on Biomutant for a while, along with everything else that goes on. This one, it's a shocker for me, because I hadn't heard anyone talk about it. Seems like the last 4 or 5 months it's been dead in terms of news. But Bloodstained Ritual of the Night apparently is scheduled for 2018, and according to what it says here, first and second quarter of 2018. Now, what I mean by quarter, I mean Q1 and Q2, which the first quarter is January, February, and March, and the second is April, May, and June. So, will it be released in 2018? I have no clue, and as far as I know, it has not been announced. There is no major news, no major updates or anything like that, but the second it comes out, I will more than likely purchase it, because it has interested me for quite some time, you know? I've been wanting to get into the Castlevania series and everything like that, And I just like how the series looks, you know? I've never really played Castlevania, but it looks interesting. I've been busy playing everything else, you know? I'm right now finally playing through all the Final Fantasy games that I've been wanting to do for years, you know? And by years, I mean a couple of years. So, to that extent, Code Vein. Again, we don't know when in 2018, and something tells me we will never know until E3. Something tells me it won't be out until the fall, which won't surprise me. It's like, shit. It's like, Code Vein, come on, when are you going to be released? I figured it would get like an April release or something, you know, in the middle of spring or whatever. But at this point right now, we have no details. There is another one that's on this list, and I really am afraid to talk about this because some people are going to say stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinions on it. Darksiders 3. I have played the first and second one, but they weren't fantastic games, you know? They weren't like outstandingly awesome games, nor were they like, oh, this is interesting type game. They were just something that you can play one time and then just trade it in. That was it. It's just, I played the first one and it didn't really move me as much, but it kept me occupied as best. That's the best way I can explain it. It kept me occupied. Darksiders 2. Again, it kept me occupied, but it didn't really do anything to grab me into it. It changed a whole bunch, but it didn't interest me that much more than what the first one did. In fact, the only thing it did differently was change from an action game to an RPG element game. And it's like, okay, but at the same time, why? You know, it's like, it didn't interest me. And a lot of people are talking about this right now, Darksiders 3 and everything, and it's supposed to feature Fury. And I'm like, okay, cool, so we have another one of the 4 horsemen and everything like that. But at the same time, it still does not interest me. Unfortunately. It did not grab my attention, unlike War and Death. It just, I don't know what it is, but I think I just lost interest in the Darksiders series. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wait it out until it eventually goes down in price, and then I probably might pick it up, or I might rent it. One of the two. You never know. Never know. Days Gone. How can I put this? I am on strike against zombie horror survivor games. I am kind of going against it now. You know, there are plenty of ways to do horror survivor games, you know, and everything like that. But zombies are going to be overdone. It's been overdone for the past 7-8 years now. It's been overdone and I'm sick of it. And this is another one. And it's overhyped. It's like, guys, we've seen this 100,000 times now. Get over it. I'm done with zombie horror survivor games. That's why I liked it. Fatal Frame, it has Ghost in it. Or hell, Silent Hill, that was mind-fucked and everything. It looks cool, and I like it. I like the style. It's going in a different direction. In this case, it's using zombies. I get so irritated. It's like, oh, mass army of zombies versus one dude. Yeah, but you know they're going to make it to where you can survive. If there's one saying that Last of Us taught me anything, was that it's getting to a point where now they try to make bigger numbers, but nothing changes. It is still a zombie game, and it's pointless. The end. Anyway, moving on. Detroit Become Human. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this for the past, 2 years now that it's been in development, I think? I think it's been 2 years now. I'm not quite sure. But Detroit Become Human is basically being made by the same people who did Heavy Rain. And it's basically going to be a... How can I put this? reaction command overhaul, you know, where you play through the story and you press certain buttons to do stuff and everything like that. But apparently Detroit Become Human is supposed to be a massive story-changing plot line and everything like that. You know, you play through it one time, do a certain task, series of things and stuff like that, you progress through the story. You start it again, but go through a different path, you go through a different set of stories and stuff like that. Same thing again and again and again. And it has potential, but it has no interest in me, I'm afraid. I don't care much for it right now. Really don't. The next thing, and I'm surprised that it's coming out with a sequel, Dragon Quest Builders 2. Now, I haven't got the first one yet, mostly because I've been playing everything else, but I do plan on getting me the first one because I do love Minecraft, I do love Dragon Quest, so to see that Dragon Quest Builder has a sequel, I'm actually kind of excited. So it's sort of like, maybe this might be good, maybe it might pick me up and everything like that. But again, I want to play the first one and everything like that just to play it, you know? And speaking of Dragon Quest, the next one on the list, and apparently is still being set for 2018, this has been like an overlong waited title, and that is Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Exclusive Age. A weird title, but to an extent, we're getting another Dragon Quest console game. Now, technically, this is also available for the 3DS over in Japan, I believe. I believe Happy Console Gamer talked about it because he has imported it and played it and everything like that. Which is fine. It's fine. I'm not going to argue with it. You know, if you want to play the game that badly, you can. I'm not going to judge you. But at the same time, I cannot play it with Japanese text, much less in Japanese language. I can't. So, I'm still going to wait for it. But Dragon Quest XI, after I first saw it years ago, when they first advertised it and everything like that, it looked amazing. It was fantastic, and I can't wait to play it. It just, we don't know if it's going to be a 2018 release or not, you know? Am I going to pick it up when it first comes out? Probably not right away, but maybe shortly after. Like, if I have any money left over when I'm not saving money to purchase Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimate Collector's Edition, please, Square Enix, do something like that, okay? I'm begging you. I'm going to have the money, I promise you. Unlike the Final Fantasy 15 Ultimate Collector's Edition, I will have the money for the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimate Collector's Edition. Just do something with it. Followed by release date. I want the release date. As well as other information on worlds that we do not know yet. We haven't got that many worlds revealed, so please do something. We're going off topic right now. But anyway, back to Dragon Quest XI. I admit, I've only played Dragon Quest VIII. But that's only because every other Dragon Quest game that we've had available so far in terms of US release has been released for the handheld 3DS or the DS. And Dragon Quest VIII got released for the 3DS recently. I think it was early this last year, I believe. 2018, I know. It hadn't been that long, I know that much, because it came out shortly before the 2DS came out, the 2DS XL. So it's like, this looks like it'd be an interesting game to pick up because I love Dragon Quest VIII. And it has a whole bunch of features on it and everything like that. So it's like, you know what, I might want to pick this up, right? But definitely can't wait for Dragon Quest XI to come out. Extinction. I'm talking about it right now because it did have my interest at time. But now it lost my interest. Because at first I thought to myself, I was like, you know what, this looks like it'd be a really cool Shadow of Colossus type game. At the same time I thought to myself, and I was like, this might end up being a poor execution of a Shadow of Colossus game. Because we've been wanting another clone of Shadow of Colossus for quite some time, where we fight giant colossi creatures and everything. We haven't had one since. Technically, there's supposed to be an indie development team working on something like that, which I hope that's in the process of, because it sounds interesting. But in terms of, like, is it being worked on right now or not, I don't think it is. But I'm gonna wait until it comes out and everything like that, and then hear reviews of people talking about it and see if it ends up being good or not. The next thing on the list, God of War. God of War. How can I talk about this? I love the God of War franchise. I really do. The first one is my absolute favorite for reasons. Every other game has been good on its own. Ascensions admittedly wasn't as good, but it was still pretty decent on its own. But I think it was because of the fact that it had the multiplayer campaign that ruined it. I want to say that's what's the case. But again, I could be wrong. I could be oblivious. You never know. I have my reasons for why I am and everything like that. But Ascensions could have been better. They didn't do better. I mean, it was good still, yes, but it didn't do as good as like how the previous titles did. Like Ghost of Sparta and even Chain of Olympus was good on their own, and they were PSP titles. And then, of course, there's still God of War 2 as well as God of War 3 being really good titles. But God of War 1 will always, to me, stand out as being the superior God of War game. But the God of War for PS4 and is scheduled to be released in the first quarter of the year. In fact, I could have sworn that there was a particular website that said it was going to be released in March. I'm not sure how correct that is. We haven't gotten an official claim by the corporation that made God of War or anything like that. But I'm gonna say something. And everyone who is a fan of God of War is going to hate me just because I don't like the ideal that it's going. Number one is going from where it was Greek mythology to Norse mythology. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, what do you have against Norse mythology? I have nothing against Norse mythology. I just don't know nothing about it. You know, with Greek mythology, we knew everything that was going on within the Greek mythos. I know nothing about Norse mythology, and that was because no one ever taught it. You know, I had friends tell me that they have Norse mythology as their favorite history era. What the fuck is Norse mythology? I know about Odin and Thor, but that's because of the Marvel Universe. What the fuck is the frickin' Norse mythology legend? How big is it compared to the Greek mythology? Yes, every era has its own mythos, but I need details. Give me details of what Norse mythology goes by. It's like, what the hell am I supposed to take from this? You know? But that's just a minor nitpick compared to the next one I'm going to talk about when it comes to God of War. The gameplay mechanic. Now, Record, yes, I get it. He no longer has the Chain of Olympus. This is an official sequel from the God of War 3. So it makes sense that he wouldn't have the Chain of Olympus, much less the Blades of Chaos. So it's like, okay, yes, I understand. He won't have those. Why'd you make the gameplay act like more like The Last of Us? Like, seriously, the gameplay alone looks like it was ripped from The Last of Us and reskinned. I hope God of War does good. I hope it does. And I understand why they have to change gameplay because of the fact that it's no longer the same God of War since God of War 3. I admit that it has to change with time and everything like that. I understand all that. But why does it look like The Last of Us? What is so detailed about The Last of Us? What the hell is wrong with you people? I actually like the ideal concept that Kratos is either taking in a kid or he has a son. Okay? I like that ideal. It looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be cool. It's like, yes, Kratos is finally letting go of his past and it's become a more mature Kratos. He's actually accepting his fatherhood that he lost years ago because he technically ripped it from himself from where he served Ares. And he's actually given a second chance by raising this kid. I love that ideal. Why does it look like The Last of Us? Ah! ticks me off. Oh. Okay, I went a little off on that, actually. I don't think I've ever got that mad before when I talked about God of War. Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna walk away from that title name for now, because for some reason that made me mad. This one will hopefully make me happy then. Kingdom Hearts 3. What have I not said about Kingdom Hearts 3? I can do a whole freaking playlist of me talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 of why I'm so hyped up for it. The gameplay looks fun. It's succeeding from the story after Dream Drop Distance. It's got new worlds that we're going to get to explore. All of the worlds look so freaking awesome and everything like that. I do have one problem. But this is minor compared to what I'm seeing. You know? It's like, you see this world and everything like that, and you're like, okay, never mind. I can get behind this. I don't like how the majority of the worlds are already taking shape of the CG movies. You know, yes, we've got Olympic Coliseum in terms of confirmed worlds. But in terms of confirmed worlds, besides Olympic Coliseum, we also have Tangle's World, which I forgot what that was called, but it is technically part of it. San Francisco, which is Big Hero 6. Nothing wrong with that. I love that one better than Tangle. And then Pixar. Pixar's revealed. And after looking at the trailer, I am behind the ideal of having Pixar on Kingdom Hearts. If it's done right, like how Toy Story was, I can get behind it. It looks good. It looks like it's going to be a fun experience. And I didn't look at all of them, but there's been leaks about potential worlds that might get revealed. I'm not going to say what they are for those of you that are like saying, don't spoil it for me. I'm not going to. I promise you, I'm not that person. I want to, but I'm not going to, because I understand that's a big discouragement. I won't say any more, but unfortunately, because of what I've been seeing so far, I'm afraid it's too much CG movie adaptations from Disney and not enough from the animation lineup. You know, keep in mind, they could use other movies. Like, I'm still hoping for Treasure Planet. I'm hoping for Atlantis The Lost Empire. Hell, Delmar's hoping that Robin Hood will be on there. And I hope so too, because that would be awesome. But I'm afraid they're concentrating more on the CG movie lineup, so it might not be as fantastic or as joyous as Kingdom Hearts has been in the past. I think it's like, Kingdom Hearts has gotten really good so far in terms of releasing worlds. I mean, hell, we even got Notre Dame in Dream Drop Distance. I was like, yes, they had my favorite Disney movie. It's like, yes, Hunchback of Notre Dame, all the way. But I don't think it's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Damn, that would be so awesome if it got released on Kingdom Hearts 3. Can you imagine that world, though? Notre Dame in Kingdom Hearts 3 and frickin' PS4 graphics like it is. Holy shit, that'd be awesome. Sadly, though, I don't think it is, because they haven't revealed any more worlds since its original trailer. So it's like, I mean, not to say that I'm disappointed, but are you even going to add any more of the animated movies? I hope they do reveal more details, more worlds, because I kind of like to know. But at the same time, it's like, this is good, but at the same time, this is scary. But again, we just gotta wait and see what happens from here, because it's like, we really don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know when it's supposed to be released. We don't even know what other worlds they're gonna announce. But something tells me they won't reveal any more news until, like, E3. Now, technically, there is potential that it will get revealed at D23 this year, which is, I think, within the next month, I think? I don't remember, but within the next month, D23 will be released, and people are thinking Kingdom Hearts 3 might be revealed there. in which case there is possibility, but at the same time, I don't see that happening, because even the president himself has stated that more details will be revealed by the second quarter of the year, or towards the end of the second quarter of the year. That was the phrase, which is June, technically. And what's in June? E3. So, yeah, we won't get any details until then. Left Alive. I'm not going to say any more, except for the fact that technically it has Square Enix name in it. So it's like, it looks like it would be promising, but right now I'm just going to kind of push it away. If it picks my interest up, I might pick it up. Until then, though, I know nothing about it, so therefore I'm not really going to talk about it much. Let's see here. What else? Red Dead Redemption 2. Have not played the first one, still need to. I will eventually play through the first one somehow or another. I'm not sure about this year, because my lineup is kind of booked. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I might play through it. I don't know. But Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm just going to hold off right now. Let's see. Well, we got Soul Calibur 6, is it? Yeah, 6. I've been kind of away from the Soul Calibur series since Soul Calibur 3, which has been like the best one out of the bunch. Soul Calibur 4, you disappointed me because you didn't make me create a Jedi. You had Darth Vader, you had Yoda, you even had Vader's apprentice. But you didn't have the ability to where you could let us create our own custom character. I wanted to build my own Jedi, for crying out loud. You had the opportunity. You should have embraced it. You didn't. You disappoint. So I've been kind of staying away from Soul Calibur since then. And that's just a nitpick. That's just me, but yeah. That is technically all in terms of like what is still set for 2018. This is an entire list of what, hey, this is potential release in 2018 stuff. You know, this is like, hey, we don't have a release date, but people are saying that it's 2018 possibility. Now, there are two games, that have not been stated, nor confirmed, nor talked about since their initial talked. And I think both of them came out around the same time, too. It's like in terms of like teaser trailers, they both came out the same time, I believe. Maybe one was a year earlier before, I'm not quite sure. But the first one I want to talk about is obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake. Square, just tell us when it might come out. You know, at this point, you know me, I've kind of lost interest in the ideal of Final Fantasy VII Remake. But at the same time, now that you kind of brought it up, I'm like, okay, you've got my interest, I love the gameplay, I love how everyone looks and everything like that. But I'm going to wait until it gets released somehow. Now, technically, from what we know in terms of like, hey, this is going to be a thing, was that I heard that it was supposed to be episodic, which means it's going to be in multiple parts. Now, people have theorized that maybe it might be released based on like disc and everything like that. That was my phone fully charged. But anyway, they're basically saying that they're doing multiple parts based on like disc consumptions and everything like that. You know, the size of the disc and everything like that. You know, for example, disc 1 is episode 1, disc 2 is episode 2, disc 3 is episode 3. If that's the case, why not do it that way? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but they even went as far as to say that the data within Final Fantasy VII Remake would be so surpassive compared to the PS4 Blu-ray disc. As far as I know, Blu-ray discs can hold up to 50 gigs. That's the biggest I've seen in a PlayStation 4 game. Don't you dare tell me it's too big. That's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. You cannot tell me it's going to be that big, okay? Final Fantasy VII was not even close to a... Scratch that. It was almost 2 gigs. But you're telling me that Final Fantasy VII Remake is that big? You're trying to bite off more than you can chew. That is a bold statement. Prove it then. I don't like the idea that they're trying to overhype it, and I'm kind of glad there hasn't been much news in terms of Final Fantasy VII Remake. At the same time, that's not good because we have no ideals as to when it might come out. That's why it's not even on the list of possibilities for 2018, because there hasn't been any reveal that is like, oh hey, this is the 2018 ideal. As far as we know, it might come out, it might not. We don't know. And I don't think we'll ever know until E3. If it does get revealed. If it does get revealed, it will more than likely be another teaser trailer. But I think what it is that Square realizes that this is like one of the popular Final Fantasy games out there. The most popular, next to 6. So for people, they're afraid that they have to be careful how they present Final Fantasy VII Remake, because they know they have a lot of hardcore fans. At the same time, they also have a lot of new fans because of 15. At the same time, they want to try to keep it as close to the original as possible. At the same time, they want to try to bring in new elements that people love from 15 and everything like that. Honestly, I like the action-oriented that they did. I just hope they do it more accurate like Kingdom Hearts. 15 was not like Kingdom Hearts, but it was pretty good. I hope that 7 does do well when it comes out, or when it finally does get something. But until we do hear something, that is going to be a very, very touchy topic. Anytime people talk about 7 Remake, they're like, hey, do we know any more details? None! We know jack shit. They're like, well, can you give me an update as what you know so far? I give them the details, and they're like, that's it? That's it. There's no details? No details. No major ones? No major ones. Not even a slight update? Not even a slight update. Not even a hint as to when it might get released? Not even a hint. I don't even know if it's still going to be episodic. I don't even know if it's going to be digital or physical. I have no flipping clue. But to a point, though. Hopefully we'll get something at E3. We'll know. There's one other game. And really, it doesn't interest me at all. But it makes me aggravated. It makes me angry. It makes me sad. It makes me worried. It makes me want to hurt someone. At the same time, it makes me want to give somebody a hug. Death Stranding. 3 trailers. 3 trailers. None of them gameplay. None of them are gameplay footage. But every one of those trailers has one phrase. One phrase. Every time I watch these trailers, I literally have this statement. What the fuck are you smoking? What the fuck are you smoking? Hideo freaking Kojima. What are you smoking? Seriously, what are you smoking that makes you come up with this ideal? What the hell? It makes me want to punch you in the face. It makes me want to give you a hug because I felt sorry for you. I think what it is that he was treated so wrongly when he was over in Konami that you feel sorry for him. And then you see this and you get pissed off because you're like, you're not giving me any details. At the same time, it gets more fucked up by the minute, and you just want to give him a hug because you feel sorry for him that he has to go through so much trauma, and this is the aftermath. He's expressing his feelings through these trailers. It's like, what the fuck happened to you, man? What happened to you? And I'm not saying this to raise alarm or anything like that. I'm saying it because I'm generally worried about him. What am I looking at? If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the game. Death Stranding is what it's called. Look it up. It is so mindfucked. I don't know what I'm looking at anytime I look at the trailers. I don't talk about it because I don't know what I'm looking at. There's no gameplay footage. It's all like messed up story portions. First time it was like, okay, he's naked, there's a baby out there, it disappeared, there's handprints all over him, and there's a giant gaping hole with like black looking things around it and stuff like that. What? Second trailer, there's this one bald suit guy or whatever, all of a sudden he's got like this giant thing, and it has a baby inside of it. What? Then there happens to be skeletons that's hooked up to this one dude, he releases them and everything like that. It's like, what? Then the latest one, I was like, what? Why are they not supposed to breathe? What are these black shadow things? What the hell? What's up with the baby? And why was the baby inside of the main character's throat? What the fuck? What? Oh. Again, I don't know what to feel. I'm just so confused by what he's presenting. And I don't know if this is his ideal just to lure people in. I don't know if it's like, hey, here's the trailer. Enjoy him having nightmares while he's at it. It's like, what the... Oh... I understand there's no reason to be angry. But at the same time, are you telling me you support this dude because you can't make up what it is? There's still no gameplay. We don't know what we're going to be playing. We don't even know if it's a shooter. We don't know if it's action-oriented. We don't know if it's a point-and-click adventure. We don't know jack shit. We only know it's involving a dude in a post-apocalyptic futuristic space type thing. I don't even know if it's on Earth or another planet, because they're wearing astronaut suits. But we don't know what's going on. We don't know where they're at. All we know is that this dude is involved with this organization that's fighting a group of shadow beings, and they have a baby. What's with the baby? I don't know. If it's because humanity is slowly dying and they have to rebuild the human population by basically building artificial babies? What am I supposed to take from this? I'm not given any details. I know jack shit. If anyone knows, please link me something in the description below to where I can look at this information, to where I can say, okay, now I know. But until then, I have no clue. I'm sorry. I don't mean to rage like that. I really don't. But, oh my gosh. That's kind of why I've kind of stuck with the 5 games that I've got listed. Whether they have been confirmed or non-confirmed for 2018. Which is The City of Final Fantasy NT, Shadow of Colossus for PS4, Code Vein, Biomutant, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Those are my main games for 2018. That's all until further notice. If any of the other ones that I've previously talked about, whether it's God of War, or flippin', oh shit, I forgot what were the other ones now. What was the other ones? Did I just go through an amnesia right now? Am I even recording this? But like I said, some of these games that I'm talking about right now either didn't interest me or have not interested me at all. or rather, I don't plan on getting them. But the other ones that I have talked about, I either might get them later on, sometime next year, or I plan on getting them as soon as they come out, you know? And again, this might get a lot of people angry after me talking about it and stuff like that, but honestly, this is just me wanting to talk about it, you know? I just wanted to talk about the games that's going to be coming out in 2018, you know? Let's start a discussion of all the games that's going to be coming out. Let's get hyped for 2018, because let me tell you something. The beginning of this year has sucked. And I hate it. So I just wanted to do something that is away from all that drama. I got so pissed off from what started this year. So it's like, you know what? Let's talk about something happy. Let's do what everyone else has never thought of, which is to talk about what's going to happen in 2018, which is other games that will come out because they are the most anticipated games of 2018. I may be completely wrong on that one, but you know very well that I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm tired right now. I admit I might have lost myself. I don't know how long have I recorded this? Oh, a whole hour of me ranting and talking about games that's coming out for 2018. I figured this might be like a good 30 minutes discussion. No, this turned into an hour. Holy shit. Well, at any rate though, that's all I wanted to talk about. You know, I want to give my opinions. I want to give my thoughts about what 2018 holds and everything like that. Let me know in the comment section below what you think is going to be the games that you're excited for 2018. If there are games that I haven't said in the video by chance, let me know in the description below. Worst case scenario, send me a link to something that states about the news and upcoming events that might come out or whatever. Just let me know. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Take care, guys.